The last few days brought spring to our doorstep, and after what's felt like an endless winter, the air is warming and the yellow kale flowers are bursting into bloom, bringing the bees back to their work. There's a certain stillness that comes with it, watching the bees return, like they're reclaiming their rightful place in the rhythm of things. And every morning, I stand by the garden and feel that quiet hum of life beginning again.
Our baby spruce is growing.
Eli's friends have been camping this week. It's a funny thing, every time they pitch their tents on our property, the rain seems to follow. The timing couldn't have been better. It's like the land knew we needed it. Eli and his mates, they all finished high school last year and have since gone off to do their own things.
I guess I'm doing the video now. So this is Kate, Caden, and Remy.
Mm-hmm.
The one behind you over there, behind Matthew's car.
That one there?
Yep, that's Matthew, Ashley, and Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And over there is Connor and Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack's sleeping in his car, the Rav behind.
Sometimes the friendships you make when you're 12 years old will stick with you for life. And seeing them all together again, laughing and camping out under the stars, it reminded me how simple joy can be and how we sometimes forget to slow down and just be.
Oh, I haven't told them about the quail actually.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah. Coco doesn't seem to like our dog Truffles very much.
Sit.
Coco. Oi.
No.
Hey. Stop. Look at me. Knock it off.
I reckon Truffles and my dog would get along very well. They're both.
I reckon mine.
Their first night they had no rain, but after weeks of dry, the skies finally opened up and gave us 4 days of on and off rain.
What are you guys having for dinner?
Snags.
Snakes.
Yeah, just meat.
Nice little pork.
Snags, not snakes.
Whole barbecues from Kmart, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like $30.
That's pretty good.
Got this
They
one
just
helping me.
attracted to you, Remy. As soon as they come near here, I'm thinking about buying to me.
This is rough.
I'm standing up against the bar.
Yeah, that's good. Then just
We thought, oh, it's going to be way too windy.
Yeah.
But then you look at this
What is it?
tonight.
What is it, what?
clear, yeah.
So, it's so calm, it's not funny.
Oh, gyozas and fried rice.
Like what's in
Have
the-
you guys
what's in the
got
fried
enough
rice?
here? A couple of dozen up offer. But if you want a dozen, you can have a dozen of the tiny eggs.
Cute little eggs.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so they don't know about the quail.
So we left them alone that night with tales of quail attacks and yowies.
I was going to probably put that in the shower, that glass. I think it will fit. Just. And then that one, which is a bit thicker, that I was going to do this window.
Paul's been contemplating how to put some windows into our outhouse to let in a bit of light. And now we're off to plant some comfrey that Lana gave to us. So we've got some Nutri-Life platform powder, which Lana suggested, and it's got like fungi and beneficial bacteria in there to improve nutrient uptake and improve biobalance and root health for plants and plant resilience. So we've included that with the comfrey. There's a storm puppy.
There's a storm puppy.
There's a storm a brewing.
There's a storm a brewing. Look at those clouds coming in, puppy. You won't like it when it starts to thunder.
And time to head off to our permaculture class. We're in the old tobacco barn because of the rain. Look at this beautiful old building.
If I was doing tiny baby seedlings, I might have mulched the whole bed. They were so monstrous, it was ridiculous. Like, they were so big. It's such a great book. Fantastic books and a lot.
Mum came to visit last week too, and she joined us for a couple of Lana's classes. Lana explained how to prepare garden beds properly for fruits and vegetables.
Great book. There was a guy, they live in the snow, and he would get just all the junk mail that came in, and just out of that junk mail and a couple of very fine sticks, he would heat his house for 4 days. You can put this in a house, and yeah, 70 to 90% less wood, and that's pretty amazing stuff. So that's a massive time, but I'm going to show you this because it's so worth it. So as far as gas, you know, and buying gas and the price of gas and what have you, you can set this up inside, outside, very well, but you can go the extra distance.
And in this permaculture class, Lana also showed us how to build a rocket stove, an ingenious little thing really, efficient, low cost and easy to make with just a few materials. There's so much wisdom in the way she teaches, rooted in deep respect for the land.
But this is good for the planet compared to 90% more wood, you know, and it's good for the gas and what have you. I really would like to do a bush kitchen, you know, that when it's not -10, that you can go out and you can use these technologies and you're not pulling on your power supply.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number 1. You gotta slow down, look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
After the rain, the earth responded as it always does, everything turning green again almost overnight. The next morning we had a bit of an odd sight, a person flying over our property in a paramotor.
So you can be deserving of the rest that you are given. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Give a lot and live a little. Work with what you got.
Hopefully they don't crash into the trees there. There always seems more to do than time allows, especially living here in a place where the cold can bite hard in winter, getting down to -10 degrees Celsius sometimes. The growing season feels short and it's a race to get everything done in time. But that's the life we choose, a harder, simpler life. And despite the challenges, we wouldn't trade it for anything. The seedlings I've planted a couple of weeks ago have started to push their way through the soil, a reminder that nature always knows when it's time to wake up. I've upcycled an old milk bottle to make the tags for the seedlings, and after a few days of rain, they've almost doubled in size. They're already putting out their true leaves. The melons and the grama seem to be the fastest to grow. They're eager to take up as much space as they can. Lana's been teaching us about how everything has its place, how every plant, even weeds, have a purpose in this ecosystem that we're trying to build. So the parsley and the red Chinese spinach are all self-sowing now, coming back again and again without us having to lift a finger. And as Paul will happily tell you, I'm not one for having even rows everywhere. I just tend to throw the seeds out into our raised bed and hope for the best. Not always, of course. Sometimes I'll do rows just to mix it up a bit. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but that's just part of the beauty of this life, letting nature take the lead. We've tried using companion planting in every bed, and the calendula flowers I've put around the herbs and vegetables, hoping to keep the pests at bay. I've only seen one white cabbage moth so far, so hopefully that's a good sign that our plants are healthy. We've tried to add a lot more mulch around the base of the fruit trees. There's a peace in watching raindrops cling to leaves after the storm, the way they glisten in the light, each drop holding onto its place until gravity finally wins. I roasted some buckwheat groats on the barbecue outside. The smell of it fills the air as I prepare them for dinner. Simple meals, made with care, always seem to taste better. And now we're off to another permaculture class with Lana.
And I'll water that pile. It was pretty moist, just to get that nutrient in. Obviously not with the bottle. That's pretty much it besides my foliar feed. So when it comes to fruiting time, or any time that your pumpkin just starts to, they take off and they're looking great, and then all of a sudden they just start looking a bit ratty, and that's a big sign, feed me. And that can be another handful of compost. Yeah, like really, compost, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's like really all you need. And play with different compost you make and what have you. So you can see how it's not real fleshy, but like that's it.
You can see from all the topics on this whiteboard just how many subject matters that Lana covers in one class.
A lounge that's all heated via this total deal, or hot water. They set them up with hot water. That is
The Hugelculture garden bed that we built a few weeks ago with layering organic material has already been showing promise. The barley is starting to sprout from the mulch, and the no-turn compost pile with the holes in it from the pipes is still showing that it's aerated, just like she said. Lana's classes have been a real gift. She never asks for much, just a small donation for morning tea, and in return she gives us so much more than we could have ever expected. Knowledge, plants to take home, and confidence to trust in what we're building here. She suggested laying down cardboard and wood chips for a new garden, but letting it rest for a year before planting. But we're not ones to wait, so we're going to probably put a layer of a soil and mulch right on top of this and plant in sooner than that. We've got this packet of green manure, but that is for another day. We also planted pink and yellow kangaroo paw near the outhouse. These colours bring a vibrancy to the place that feels like a little celebration every time I walk by. Time for dinner and some well-earned rest.